All right, welcome on in. So to kind of kick us off, I like to always start with talking a little bit about our customer experience team. The customer experience team are represented here on the screen with us. Our motto is to be by your side and for your growth. We always want to be standing alongside you and watching you grow in your use of Tithely or Breeze, but then also just like seeing your church prosper and grow as well. We are customer centric. We always want to be focused on you being innovative and finding new approaches and new ways of solving some of those tech problems at your church. We always strive to be transparent in everything that we do, the builds that we have, the advancements that we have, maybe any bugs that you may experience. We always want to be transparent in everything that we do. We are solution motivated and partnered and invested in your success. I like to say that we like to say that your success is our success. So seeing you successfully launch Tithely or Breeze or Elvanto, seeing you use it on a Sunday morning, seeing you send out those forms, whatever it is, your success is our success. And so this is a little bit about our customer experience team, so you know a little bit about who is on the other side of this call. Yeah, these are some of our core principles. Today, from the customer experience team, we have myself, we have Sam on the call as well, which you've just heard from. Anything you'd like to say, Sam?
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I'm on our
Perfect.
success team.
Awesome. And then we have Connor as well. Connor is actually on our support team, and he's going to be assisting us in the Q&A. He's going to be answering all those questions. And so these are the faces of who is on the call today, helping you out. You may have seen any of us or all of us on any emails or former webinars, so it's great to see you all back here again today. All right, we'll hand it over to Sam
Cool.
for a second.
Yeah, I just wanted to share about our product suite here at Tithely. So as you can see, there's many different titles on the page. These are all of the different products that Tithely offers. So most of you are probably most familiar, at least with one of our giving platforms, whether it be Tithely Giving or Breeze Giving. And then we do offer a whole suite of things. So hopefully meeting all of your church's needs with finance products, communication products, and then people management products. And so we do have different subscriptions that offer different packages and combinations of these, but probably our most popular one is the all access package that just contains everything on the screen. And so, yeah, if you do have any questions about any of these specifically, we'd love to help you afterwards, or, if there's something, we'll talk about how all of these kind of are utilized within like Easter services and normal church planning. But of course, if you have specific questions, please shout out something, and we can always follow up afterwards with you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and if there's, like Sam said, if there's anything here that you're like, hey, I didn't know that you did websites and I actually need a website, just let us know. You can put it in the Q&A here and we'll follow up, or you can email us at support@tithe.ly and we would get you back some information on that as well.
Cool.
All right, so agenda. These are the things that we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be having two major sections, one Tithely Giving and one on Elvanto and Breeze. And so first with Tithely Giving in your Easter service, we're going to be talking about what you need to do now so that you're prepared for your giving moment on Easter Sunday. Tips and tricks from our Tithely team of how to best come into your Easter season. And then we will talk about leveraging the power of your CHMS. So we'll specifically talk about using check-in, service planning, new visitor forms, follow-ups, and people flows. And so as you can see, there is a lot of content on the screen today. For the sake of time, we will not be going into each system and actually demoing how to do each individual thing. We're going to be talking a little bit more on a higher level. If there is something as we go along that you're like, hey, I actually really need a little bit more information on X or Y, let us know and we can maybe pop over there if time allows, and show you a little bit of a demo there. But we're gonna be talking about Tithely Giving and then your CHMS. Again, at the end, we will have a Q&A. So if you're just joining us, click on that Q&A box at the bottom of your screen and let us know what questions you have there. And then, of course, we have our giveaways at the end. All right, so let's kick it off with Tithely Giving. Some of you may be Tithely customers, you may be Elvanto customers, you may be Breeze customers. And so I want to kind of stop here and say that, the similar ideas can, apply across the board. So if you're using Tithely Giving, you're going to have a giving link and you're going to be able to give to, put that out on a website, put it on a QR code, and people can give to your church. Same thing for Breeze, right? You're going to have a Breeze giving link, put that on your website, put it on a QR code. So same ideas are gonna kind of apply here, but I'm going to focus a little bit more on Tithely Giving. So your Easter service is a really important time for generosity in your church. Last year at this time, I was actually interviewing Dean, our CEO, about leveraging the power of generosity during your Easter season, right? You have people coming to your church that have never been to your church before. And the outpouring of a heart posture of generosity is such an encouragement to your entire church. And so I'm going to talk about the things that you can do today so that you're prepared a little bit more for your Easter service. So first, I'm going to talk about what you need to do now so that you're prepared for later, so that you're prepared for Easter. So the first thing I'm going to say is talk to your church now about your giving moment this upcoming Easter. I think that it's really powerful to go ahead and be preparing your church to be in the heart posture, maybe into the mindset of generosity on Easter, right? In a moment that we celebrate the Easter season, we celebrate that together through community and also through generosity. So be talking to your church now about the giving moment that is upcoming on Easter. Next is think about all the pathways your donor may be giving. There's a lot of different ways for someone to give. Is that in a custom app? Is it online, through a text message, through QR codes that are posted around your church? Whatever way that it is, think through the path for the donor so that when someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, I would love to give to your church. How can I do that? You have a very clear understanding of the pathways to send a donor down. Also, during your giving moment on that Sunday, you actually know how to direct people outside of saying, we appreciate your generosity in giving, but actually giving people practical things to do so they actually know what their next step is. So really be thinking about all of those pathways for a donor and how they can be giving. Big suggestion here, test all giving pages. And I put here at least 5 days before Easter. Really, my message is just to test them before Easter. I put here just for the benefit of our support team to be doing it 5 days before Easter. So if you have any questions, if anything comes up on your form, if you need to change any branding, if you have any questions about transactions, whatever that is, that you can let our team know and our team can have time to help you with that before the Easter rush. And so really be testing all those giving pages. I always recommend go and make a test donation. Make sure you see what the experience is so that you know what your donors are experiencing. And yeah, just test those ahead of time and let us know if there's anything that isn't working correctly, and we'll be happy to help you. And my last thing here is to use our new Tithely giving form. If you did not know, Tithely actually has a brand new giving form. Super intuitive. It has this bank, like different levels of bank verification so that you can have ACH donations being processed into your church's bank account faster. It has increased UI. Like I just really suggest that you get in there and you start looking at how you can use your new giving form as we roll all customers into our new giving form within this first quarter. I really do suggest that you go ahead and look in that and just see how you can be replacing your current forms with the new giving form. You can see that by going into your Tithely dashboard, clicking on giving and clicking on giving form there. All you gotta do is copy and paste that short code or the URL and just throw it on your website in the same way that your current one is, and everything is good to go. All right, I think we'll hand it over to Sam for some tips and tricks.
Cool. Yes, so Tithely giving tips and tricks. The first one here talks about custom giving links for specific amounts. So if you're not familiar with custom giving links, this is just a way to kind of lock in specific parameters on your giving form. And if you're used to our old giving form, you may know it was a little bit of like a code trick thing that you had to do in the URL. So the new giving form makes it really easy to just click create custom link on your giving dashboard, and you can set either an amount or set it to a fund. You can also set it to a hidden fund. So if you have like a fund that you don't want to show on your normal form, but you maybe want to collect donations for that on Easter Sunday or for something specific, You can select a hidden fund or a normal fund there just to kind of make it easy for people to not have to look at the drop down or wonder like what I'm giving. So a lot of people do that for like specific initiatives, or if they have like, some type of event that they're hosting that they're like, we're raising $10 per person for whatever. So let us know if you have questions about custom links. We're happy to help. The next one is creating QR codes to push on these giving moment slides. So if you need help creating a QR code, there's a ton of free websites out there that you can put in any URL and it will like shoot out a QR code that you're welcome to use. We can give you recommendations if you need them. There's also some paid ones that you could like customize and add a logo and things like that. So we're happy to help you if you need help with that. But that's kind of our big, like our easiest recommendation on how to get people to find your giving form. So it's just something that everyone's used to, I think, of like scanning the code and getting to a site. The next one about push notifications. So this is great if you have a custom church app with us. So if you have a church app, you can go into your church app dashboard and you could schedule those to go out on Easter. You could schedule them now so that you don't have to do that the week of Easter, but you can set up or send push notifications to go out to everyone on your church. Those are, of course, free with your church app. There's no payment for push notifications, but you can, schedule one to say like Happy Easter, everybody, on Easter Sunday. So that's super nice. And then, of course, just make sure you talk about it. I feel like this is like a obvious one, but it is easy to think like maybe sometimes steer away from it, or you just never know about the crowd on Easter. But we do want to encourage generosity, and I think talking about it is a happy and awesome thing to do on Easter Sunday when you have all these new faces. And then afterwards, of course, diving into the transactions and seeing what happened. So there's a lot of different views and reports that you can take advantage of in Tithely within the dashboard or transaction views. And we're also just always happy to help you create specific views or reports. If there's something that you're looking for that you're not able to find easily, we're here to help and help you just generate those list of donors that maybe if you want to do a special thank you afterwards or special communications to people that gave on Easter, we're happy to help you do that.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Sam. Some great tips and tricks there just to get people involved on giving on Easter Sunday. So if you guys have any questions about that, about how to make those links, about how to see in your transactions, send those push notifications, whatever that is, let us know. Put that question in the Q&A box and we'll be happy to help you there. All right, we're going to make a little bit of a transition here, and we are actually going to be looking at Elvanto and Breeze. So how to use your church management system on Easter. I actually think there's a ton of power and use in your church management system, specifically on how you utilize it on Easter Sunday. One of the big things on Easter is new people, right? You're going to have people in your church that have never been there before, and we want to make sure that it's not the last time they're there, right? And so we're going to be talking about different ways to utilize your church management system so that you're following up with those people, you're tracking who they are, you know who they are, and that this is a really powerful time for your church and you see growth from it. So we're going to be talking about both Elvanto and Breeze. And so we will have a slide about Elvanto, we'll have a slide about Breeze. Again, there's going to be quite a bit of content, and so we probably won't be going specifically into each system and demoing how to do each thing. But if there's one thing that you're like, hey, I really, really want to see you do that, I want to see the demonstration of it, let us know. And if we have time, we'll do our best to do that. All right. So let's kick it off with Breeze, CHMS, and check-in. Check-in is used a little bit differently across different churches. Maybe you have volunteer check-in where people are, your volunteers are coming and your door greeters, your worship team, whoever it is checking in, saying that they're there and present for the service. Maybe it's children's check-in, and you have children's church and you want to make sure you track each child that's there, printing labels, making sure each, we keep track of everyone. I mean, also a big part of that, right, is that if someone doesn't submit the new visitor form, they may still drop their child off at the children's check-in area. So this is a great time to get information about a new visitor that may be there. So no matter how you use check-in, I want to kind of talk about the roughness of how you would do this, right? And so in Breeze, all you have to do is go into your events area, go ahead and create your Easter service. And so you just create Easter service, right? And when you're there, you will just go ahead and click to launch the event, and then you'll see this pop up that you'll see on your screen here, and you'll click check in. Make sure that when you're creating that service or on the service, on the event settings, that you set your specific filters for check-in. If you want to filter out specific tags or everyone or whoever you want to be checking in, that you say that. And then launch the event, click check-in, and then all you got to do is check people in from there. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, easy way to be checking people in to your service, be that children or volunteers or whoever. And Tithely tip here, Easter is a great time to be launching children's check-in. And so you may be having, again, a lot of new people, a lot of returning people. It may be a great time if you've never done check-in before. It may be a good time for you to be launching it at your church for increased security, but also for knowing who your people are. So take time now to understand the system so you're ready, right? I definitely would not advise you the Friday night before Easter to be like, oh, let's go ahead and dive into this check-in thing, right? I definitely would advise you to look at it now, be playing with it, do some tests so that you're familiar with it and you're comfortable. And you can, it can be an easy process on that Sunday morning. So that's Breeze. To talk about Elvanto check-in, Elvanto check-in has a somewhat similar process, right? So you're going to go into your services area. You're going to click on services. You're going to add that new service. You're going to add your Easter service. And then you'll want to make sure under your check-in area on Elvanto that you set up your specific room filters if you have that. So within Elvanto, you have the ability to set up your kindergarten class, your second grade class, your, whatever. You can set up your different rooms. You can set capacities, and you can set where people are automatically sorted into those. So there's a lot of customization you can do in there. So preset your specific filters with rooms and check-in. And then once you've created your service, all you got to do is click on check-in. It'll bring you to the screen that you see here. And all you got to do is just type in people's names and check them in from there. If you are printing labels, a big Tithely tip here is go into your check-in settings. And so you'll click on settings at the top of your screen. You'll click check-in, and then you'll want to go ahead and be adjusting your print settings there, label settings, but also just any criteria that you need to adjust. And so suggest going there just to make sure everything is set up correctly. But that is that's check-in. Check-in is a powerful thing to be using at your church, to rely on your church management system so that you know who your people are and you're increasing safety. So that is Elvanto and Breeze check-in on Easter. And I hope it was helpful. If you have questions about check-in, let us know. And we will transition now into talking about service planning and volunteer management. I think, Sam, you have these slides.
Cool. So of course, service planning and volunteer management kind of coincide with kids check-in or just people check-in in general, because if you're creating a service, you'll be checking people into a specific service. So both of our CHMS systems, saw the P, I don't know, include service planning. It's kind of new to Breeze, so if you've been waiting on that for a long time, we do have it. Also, you can see the Tithely tip that there are some big updates coming to Breeze service planning in the coming weeks and months. So I think there's some exciting just upgrades that people have been wanting. So we're excited about that, and I'm sure that you will be getting all the emails and communications about those changes as we roll them out. But yes, if you're new to creating service planning and volunteer management in Breeze, we recommend it'd be great to create an Easter service in your events area. And so that way, when you're in the events, you can click the service plan or click volunteers and then create the schedule, add, all of the things, the order of program that y'all will go through that day. And that way you can have it for your volunteers. You can print it out. You can, assign everybody what they're doing and just kind of keep track. Something that's nice about this is that you could save it as a template. And so then you could always use that for a special, if you either use it every year for Easter or have kind of your holiday schedule is maybe similar for Christmas or whatever, you're welcome to save that and keep using it as a template. Elvanto service planning. So this has been around for quite a long time. If you've been an Elvanto customer, I think it's been there from the beginning. And we also just recommend creating a service, especially if you're using check-in or you want to be using like any of the reports about services. Obviously, it'd be helpful to have the service created for that Easter service. You can click plan your service. You can also schedule, a lot of people already have service types for Easter or for their holiday program that they'll start the service from. You can click volunteers, add people. You can auto assign people. If you already have your list of people that said that they were available, you can go in and click auto and it will schedule everybody for them. And then you can contact people there as needed. You could see the schedule, see the roster, and everybody will also be getting those notifications, however their notifications are set up on their account. So within the service plan here, you can see there's different tabs in Elvanto that will give you like afterwards, you could see the reporting and all the analytics around like who volunteered, who came. And of course, all of that information is saved on their profiles and easily reported on later if you need to see like, who served when. So that is service planning in Elvanto and Breeze. And let me read the Tithely tip. I missed that one. Make sure you configure your services department volunteer settings in settings. Yes. So if you're not familiar with Elvanto as much, all of the settings that you would set up for this for specifically would be in the settings in the top right hand corner. So there's departments. You can go in there and assign sub departments within each one and different roles if there's a leadership role like for the rooms and all of that. So there's quite a lot of setup there, but it's definitely doable before Easter if this is the first time you're getting into it. So we're happy to help you kind of start from scratch if you're wanting to like create those rooms, create those departments and sub departments so that you're ready in a couple of weeks to assign people and get the show going. So please reach out if you have questions.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so service planning and volunteer management, really powerful tool at your church. I know that when I've introduced this to churches that have never used something like this in the past, it just like a huge weight off the admin, right? It saves you from running around on a Sunday morning being like, hey, like Bob, are you good to play the piano today? Like, so it's really saves you a lot of headache. It sends notifications early. But like Sam said, it can be a little bit of something that takes some time to learn and to set up. And so I suggest that you start on that now if you do want to learn a little bit more about service planning and volunteer management. Let us know how we can help you. Our team is well equipped to walk you through any training or demos on that. So let us know. Okay, we're going to talk about new visitor forms now. I think that new visitor forms could be one of the most powerful tools that your church is going to use this Easter season. And I think that accompanied with follow-ups and people flows that we're going to be talking about after this. If you don't use anything else, I would suggest that you use this on Easter. That's just because, like I said earlier, you're going to have people in your church that have never been there before. We want to make sure that it's not the last time they're there, right? And so we want to know who they are, and we're following up with them following the end of the service. And so you can do this really easily with both Breeze and Elvanto. Within both systems, all you have to do is just click on Forms and create a general, or it's called a standard form in Elvanto, and then add in all the information that you want to obtain from the visitor. So first and last name, right, email address, maybe their mailing address, maybe any open notes or any information you want to receive from a new person. And so make sure you create that. I think in a second, we have some examples of what these forms look like, but yeah, go ahead and click that general or standard form and create the form exactly how you want it to look. Update any associated language surrounding the form. And so any confirmation emails, any confirmation pages, just make sure it looks like you, right? We want to make sure that these forms that you adjust the branding to have maybe your church logo or a picture of your church, the colors of your church, so people feel comfortable where they are, right? This is the same idea, right, with your giving form. We want to make sure that people feel that they're supposed to be in that location, that they're at the right form, that they know what they're completing. And so making sure the associated language is aligned with your church on any confirmation emails as well. And then suggestion, here we are again with the QR code. Back in 2019, I would have said no one knows how to use a QR code, but with COVID, everyone knows. how to use a QR code, right? Every restaurant has them. So we suggest go ahead and create a QR code for your new visitor form also. So when a new visitor is sitting there on a Sunday morning, they don't have to, right? They don't have to go to a connection table. Those are great to have, right? If you want to have these forms pulled up on a computer and have a welcome table, perfect place for it for people to complete the form. But if someone doesn't want to do that, put it on a QR code, throw it up on the screen, welcome your new visitors, tell people to scan that, let us know that you're there. And that's a simple and easy way to get information from your new visitors, or place it on your website in a push notification, really anywhere with that link. So yeah, Tithely tip here, create a call to action during your service to have the new people scan that, right? Don't scoot over your welcoming your new visitors, show appreciation that they're there, and then call them to action of scanning the form. So this new visitor form's super easy, straightforward. One of the most simple things that you can do within Breeze or Elvanto is creating a form and allowing people to use it. And there's a huge advantage for you to use it with not much work. So would suggest that you look at using new visitor forms. Here's a couple examples of what they would look like. On the left is what a Elvanto form could look like, and on the right is a Breeze form. So of course, you would want to make this look like you, right? You're probably not going to have a Tithely logo on there. You're not going to have the Skittles at the top of the screen, but you're going to make sure and it looks like you. You're going to adjust the colors. You're going to adjust the pictures. Make sure the wording looks like you as well. And so you can, get any information you want there. So you see, right, whoops. So you see here, like, tell us more about yourself. How would you like for us to pray for you, right? So like you could add in any custom fields you want. I'm here today because, or maybe if you want like I came with, and they could put like who their person that they came with was, or whatever information you want to get. It's completely customized to you. And so here's some examples of what you could do. But again, you need to make this look like your church and make sure people feel comfortable with it. Okay, we're gonna talk about follow-ups and people flows. These are really great additions to forms, and so a form would not be complete without a follow-up or a people flow. So Sam, go ahead
Yep.
and take it away.
Yeah, so as Mark said, one of the most powerful things that you can do with forms are the actions that you do when people fill them out. So in Breeze, we call this follow-ups, or just one of the things you can do with forms called follow-ups. So you would adjust these settings in the form settings to add a tag, for example, something that you can do, add a tag to each submission. So maybe everyone who fills out the form for your Easter Connect card would be like tag Easter, or something that tells you that they came to your Easter service or filled out that form. So you can click on the follow-ups area, assign a follow-up to different people, admin volunteers in your system that maybe are in charge of reaching back out to those people, and just assign them to kind of help create a process that is trackable within your system to have this list of people. Okay, now what do we do with them? Who's in charge of them? Who's responsible to like getting to them to the next place? So follow-ups in Breeze are really simple to use, and there's kind of a few different things you can do with them, but the best place to start would be by having them fill out that form to get them initially in, however you want to follow up with them. So that's Breeze. And then I think on the next slide, we have Elvanto. What we call kind of the follow-up process system in Elvanto is called people flows. So it looks a little bit different in that you set up a flow like step by step by step. So this would be like an automated process that you guys follow. So you could have something like a first-time guest follow-up, or maybe your Easter follow-up, and maybe it could be simple. It could be 10 steps, however you want to do it. But within people flows, you again assign admins or volunteers to each step. Those people are kind of in charge of getting the people in each step to the next step. And it's automated, but also it's intentionally designed that a person is moving people from step to step. So we want people in the system to be, shepherding other people, and not the computer doing it for you. So again, in the form actions on Elvanto, you would say assign them to the people flow. And then from there, you would go in and be able to customize the settings for that flow and what you want to do with them afterwards. So flows are also, you can report on them and see how many people are in each step, or how many people have completed the steps, all of that. So yeah, that is
Awesome.
people flows.
Yeah, and yeah, a form is nothing if you don't do anything with the information. Like Sam said, right? Like one of the most important things is like doing something with that information. And so that's where flows, people flows and follow-ups come in, where you can actually assign a person to talk with whoever was there, call them, get coffee with them, whatever. And so yeah, that is people flows and follow-ups, a really powerful tool for you to be using this Easter Sunday. Okay, I think that is, yeah, that is most of the information that we have for you today. I know that that was super high level and, not a lot of super deep detail there, but if there's any areas, we have a little bit of time and we try to, give you a little bit of time here at the end to ask any questions, to go back on anything. So if you have any questions, click that Q&A box. Let us know what questions you have. We'll be more than happy to answer them together, walk through anything. So let us know what questions you have. I see that all the questions that have been asked so far have been answered, which is awesome. And yeah, so yeah, let us know. We don't have any open questions right now, but if you have any, let us know. Make sure we'll pause and take a moment. I think Beth, you ask a really great question here in the chat. I see where you talked about, hey, we're a smaller church. You're talking about Elvanto. You're talking about Breeze. Like, which one would be good for us? And that's a great question. That's a common question we get here. Is since we, own and operate both Elvanto and Breeze, we get that question often. And so I think that it's always a question where I always like to go back to the church and say, hey, what are you wanting out of a church management system? And once you let me know that, I can help, kind of prescribe which one would be best. Typically, if you're a smaller or medium-sized church, Breeze is going to meet most of your needs, right? So you're going to be looking for more of that simplistic process where you're going to be creating those forms. You're going to have simplistic, people management. And we've newly added in some powerful tools of service planning. And so you're getting a lot of that power without some of the complexity you would get from a larger system. If you're more of a larger church and you have very in-depth service planning and small group involvement and reporting is needed and all of this stuff, that's where I would lead you towards Elvanto. While it is a little bit more complicated, it has a lot more depth and you can do a lot more with it. So it's depending upon your needs, right? But you could use Elvanto or Breeze. Both of those is things that we manage. Gail, I see that you ask about a QR code. Yes, so you just need to create a QR code outside of Tithely. Within Tithely, we don't have an area to create the QR code within the system, but there are lots of QR code generators. I would just suggest that you Google QR code generator, take your Tithely giving link, and then you can just copy and paste that and put that in the generator. So you'd find that link by coming over here into your Tithely giving system, clicking on giving form, and then from here you can adjust the styles, you can change the colors, the shape of everything, and the buttons, and then you can just copy it here, creating that custom link by what Sam said by doing that here. Super easy, straightforward. I'm just taking that link and creating the QR code. Awesome. Okay, great. Okay, so we have a question from Tim here. Do you have any recommendation or best practice to tell visitors the why they should share information with us? Yeah, that's a great question, right? We want to get the information, but we don't want to be pushy, right? We want to make sure people feel comfortable. I think that great ways that I've seen this done in the past is that we want to, use language around like, we want to thank you for your attendance today. We have a small gift for you, maybe. We'd love to take you to lunch to learn a little bit more about your story. Whatever it is, I think that, showing the incentive to the person that's visiting is a great way to share that information. Just also saying that, you'd love to show your appreciation and thank them for being there that Sunday is a good way as well. Okay, I think that is all of our questions. If you have any questions, please drop those in the chat, in the Q&A as we go along, and I'll make sure and pause. But a couple last things here before we wrap it up. We do have some launch and branding kits, and so these are really great kits that you can use to launch giving on a Sunday morning. We have a Breeze one, we have a Tithely one. really like well done, right? We have a team of graphic designers that has built those for you. And so this is just free to you. We would love to give those to you to help you. And so you can scan that code on the left, download that. We also, our CEO, Dean Sweetman, recorded a masterclass in generosity. So this is talking about how to talk about generosity on a Sunday morning. If it's a super unfamiliar topic, the why behind why we do that, why we encourage generosity, a lot of practical things in there. And so go ahead and get that as well. That is, both of these are free to you. You can just scan those QR codes, put your information in, and we will email those on over to you. So free gift to you. Would love to share the goodness there. And then the moment we have all been waiting for, right? Everyone's sitting here saying, when are the AirPods going to be given away? And so thank you so much for your patience. Thanks for sticking around. I really do appreciate it. The winner of our AirPods today, drum roll everyone, is Landon Wilcox. Landon, congratulations. You have been chosen as the winner of our AirPods. Everyone drop in the chat and say congratulations, Landon, on winning a brand new pair of AirPods. Landon, we're going to be reaching out to you with the email that you registered for today's webinar with, and we will get your information to send those AirPods on over to you. So congratulations, Landon. And sorry, everyone who didn't win. Try next time. We give away lots of things. And so enter to win. Maybe you'll win something next time. Okay, so if you have any more questions after we finish the call today, or if you're watching this as a recording, if you have any questions, feel free to email us. Our support team is available at support@tithe.ly. We'll be more than happy to help you there with any question that you may have. So let us know. If you would like more training, or if you're like, hey, I need some training on this material, you can go to university.tithe.ly. So this is our education hub where you can go in and learn all about different areas of Tithely. And so, yeah, jump on over there. There's a lot of free resources and walkthrough materials, demos, different things like that. So click on, go to university.tithe.ly. And then if you are like, hey, I would love to have a member of the Tithely team come to my church and sit down in our office and teach me how to use Tithely, Elvanto, Breeze, any area of the system, you can go to get.tithe.ly/onsite training and fill out an interest form there. I will actually be the one emailing you back, and we'll talk about that, of how our team can come to you in person and train you on your system. So if you want more training, there are your paths forward. And join our Facebook groups. We have a Breeze group, we have an Elvanto group, we have a Tithely group on Facebook. That's a great community space for you to ask questions for people who are in your same scenario, doing the same thing you are with the same systems, and they can help you answer some of those questions, say how they have done it in the past. It's a great space for community. Alrighty, I'll leave those up for a second, but thank you all so much. That is all that we have for you today. Thank you so much for your participation. Congratulations, Landon. We'll be reaching out to you, and best of luck this Easter season. I know it's a huge season at all churches, and so know that our team here at Tithely is standing alongside you. We'll be here to support you all along the way. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, and we will talk to you all very soon. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.